Okay. Next வந்து cargo ballast and void space inspection பத்தி பேசுறாங்க. Are the master and senior officers familiar with companies inspection and reporting procedure? Mainly in-service monitoring பத்தி தான் இங்க வருது. ஏன்னா ISM states a company should establish procedure to ensure ship is maintained in conformity with the provisions of relevant rules and regulations and with any additional requirements. So inspections are held at appropriate intervals. So inspection guidelines la vessel operator should have developed procedure for inspecting cargo ballast and void spaces with a defined frequency of inspection. So ஒரு frequency கம்பெனியோட ஆப்ரேட்டரே ஸ்பெசிஃபை பண்ணணும். cargo ballast hold spaces void spaces எல்லாத்துக்கும் defined actions to be taken when the inspection cannot be completed within the required time frame. So manual ல வந்து action to be taken when the inspection cannot be completed within the required time frame இருக்கணும். Requires that the condition of each space is reported in a standard format. So standard formatல தான் வந்து inspection report இருக்கணும், which should include structural deterioration and failure, extent of any corrosion, pitting, wastage, extent of any deterioration of the coating, any leakages in bulkhead or pipeline works, the condition of cargo handling and monitoring equipment. இது இல்லாம the extent of sediments buildup in case of a ballast tank. So vessel operator should also provide guidance on the assessing and reporting of tank condition. And also it requires that the defects related to structure, coating and fittings are entered in vessel's defect reporting system and a follow-up action. Now the cargo tanks or an oil and chemical tankers should be inspected by vessel staff at an interval of 2.5 years with 6 months interval window on either side. The intention is that these inspections should align with the renewal and intermediate survey regimes. Now, the ballast tanks, void space, and coffer dams on a vessel should be inspected annually. The vessel operator should have declared the required inspection frequencies and the date ranges from the previous cycle of inspection of cargo, ballast, void spaces through PIQ. So, PIQ liye vessel operator oடைய frequency of inspection mention ஆயிருக்கணும். So SIRE requirement தான் 2.5 years. So vessel operator ஓட requirement என்னன்றத PIQ ல mention பண்ணிருக்கணும். So SIRE inspector ஓடைய actions என்னது? Review and site procedures for cargo ballast and void space inspection and reporting. PIQ questions were accurately spot checked by inspection report. Review several recent cargo ballast and void space inspection reports and verify the detail required by the company inspection procedures. ஸோ அப்போனாக்கா அது கூட உனக்கு என்க்ளோஸ் ஸ்பேஸ் என்ட்ரி பர்மிட்ஸ் தேவைப்படும், associated risk assessments. So where defects relating to the structure, coating and fittings of a cargo ballast or void space being noted within the inspection report, verify that a defect report has been generated to follow up with the required corrective actions. So defect reporting follow up பண்ணணும் in case of any defects. So expected evidence la company procedures for inspecting cargo ballast or void spaces, inspection of reports of all cargo ballast void spaces of the previous full inspection cycle, defect reports for any defects, communication with class relating to any defects to tank structures since the previous renewal or intermediate survey, enclosed space records and permits for entry into cargo ballast void space for inspection. And potential ground for negative observation will be where there is no procedures for inspection has been provided by the operator, frequency of ballast void spaces exceeded 12 months, cargo spaces on chemical and oil tankers exceeds 36 months, and if any officer is unfamiliar with these procedures, and any cargo ballast or void space is overdue by more than 1 month will be recorded as a negative observation. Cargo ballast or void space has been omitted from the onboard inspection regime. Cargo ballast or void space inspection reports were not prepared in a standard formats. And in case of any defects, the defects has not been transferred to defect reporting system. And open defects can also be considered as a negative observation. Defects to tank structures has not been reported to class for evaluation.